In 1950, the New World Translation of the Christian Greek Scriptures was released.
I have the extreme pleasure of releasing the New World Translation of the Christian Greek Scriptures.
This translation was unique in that it restored the divine name, Jehovah, 237 times in the main text of the so-called New Testament. But how could they do that, considering that for centuries, many Bibles did not use Jehovah's name? And why did the divine name need to be restored?
The oldest copies we have available do not use the divine name in the Christian Greek Scriptures. They use substitutes like God or Lord.
Very early on, the copyists of those original manuscripts, they simply they got in the practice of replacing God's name. We know that it's not a translation because one is a name, the other one is a title. It's not even a synonym for Jehovah, for a name.
Since the Greek Scriptures were an inspired addition to the sacred Hebrew Scriptures, in fact, Jehovah's name, God's name, was used some 7,000 times in the Hebrew Scriptures. The sudden disappearance in the Greek text is inconsistent.
Even though the New World Bible Translation Committee believed that Jehovah's name should appear in the text of the Christian Greek Scriptures, they also knew that at that time virtually all Bible scholars disagreed with that belief. Those scholars argued that by the time of Jesus, even the Greek translation of the Hebrew Scriptures, the Septuagint, no longer contained the divine name. So why would the writers of the New Testament use the divine name when their copies of the Holy Scriptures in Greek did not contain the Tetragrammaton? This view was based on faulty information. How so? Did the Septuagint still use the divine name in Jesus' time? Let's consider one piece of evidence that answers this question.
Something amazing happened in 1944. A theological journal published a picture of a Greek Septuagint fragment from the papyrus Fuad 266 collection. Now inside that fragment, there was the divine name. In the Greek text, you had the Tetragrammaton, not just once but throughout. Now this fragment was very old, dating back to the 1st century BCE. But the important point is, this was proof, clear proof, that the divine name was originally there.
2 Jehovah's Witnesses were asked to obtain photographs of these fragments, which were located in Cairo, Egypt.
New World Translation Committee were very interested in this because they started translating the Greek Scriptures in 1947.
After obtaining permission, pictures of 12 of the fragments were published in the foreword of the New World Translation of the Christian Greek Scriptures.
What amazes me about this is the timing. When our brothers, this New World Translation Committee, did their research before even translating, suddenly something that was unknown until essentially 1944 came to light that confirms that the eternal name of God has to be revealed. It cannot no longer be hidden. It should be shown to everyone who wants to worship Jehovah.
This careful preservation supports what Jesus said in prayer at John 17:26 when he said to his Father, "I have made your name known and will make it known." As Jehovah's Witnesses, we are proud to be a people for his name.
Knowing his name is essential to know Jehovah himself. And the fact that Jehovah has provided this arrangement through his people, it makes it very clear that he was gathering a people for his name.
This is why this Bible translation is so beautiful, because it brings us closer to Jehovah. Jehovah is not just a Lord somewhere which could apply to anyone, but he is Jehovah, our God. He extends his hands to us and says, well, I'm Jehovah. Call me by that name.